at Serindia Blue with the amazing Stephanie Wiggins and her incredible dog, Django, the gent, who's got more than 70,000 Instagram followers. How did you make that happen for this adorable little one?
Well, it absolutely helps that he's a very cute little dog, and he is also very well behaved and exceptionally chill. Which isn't always a trait with dachshunds. Even when he was a little baby, he was the calmest little puppy and dog. So it was pretty easy to train him to stare at us, to sit still, and ultimately we realized that he'd be a great little model for photos and videos.
What tips do you have for other dog owners who maybe want to get a good shot of their dog outside?
High quality treats are very important. Something that makes your dog, want to focus on you because he really wants to get that reward. So for Django, we use like low sodium turkey, low sodium ham, or sometimes we'll use anything chicken flavored, but something healthy, because especially if you're taking a lot of photos, you don't want to get them fat. Just training your pet makes things so much easier. When Django was a puppy, we would practice just sitting still, looking at me directly in the face, and then I'd sometimes have him sit on the floor and walk around the apartment and just teach him patience and focus. And that came in hand so much now when we take photos, because he knows if he sits still, looks at me in the eye, then he'll ultimately get a treat afterwards.
What are your top 3 tips for a pet owner who just wants to capture that perfect shot of their dog outside?
You don't need an expensive camera. You can use an iPhone, but making sure the lighting is good and making sure your pet is always in focus, as obvious as that might sound. Sometimes I come across photos on Instagram and Facebook and they're blurry or grainy, and it's hard to see your pet. You really want your pet to be the clearest and brightest part of the photo.
When you say you want the best light, what does that mean? Are you standing in the light? Are you standing away from the light?
Personally, I find that morning and afternoon light is wonderful. Natural light is a lot easier to take photos versus indoor light. It's just more flattering. And usually when the sun is really super high in the day, it casts more shadows, but when it's coming from the side during the morning and evening, it usually creates really lovely natural light on his face, and he usually shows up a lot more clearer and sharper in my photos.
And any tips for growing your Instagram page if you've got a dog you want to make as famous as him?
I would say a big one that we've found is incredibly useful is like personality. I have a lot more fun when I'm myself in the captions, when I have really, a lot of fun with his photos, and engagement grew, and ultimately I think people enjoyed following my genuine voice. In addition to personality, putting a little humanity, I guess, in your photos, if that makes sense, making your dogs come across as a little bit more relatable. So instead of just talking about your dog being a dog, even though they're dogs, the person on the other end of the phone is a human, and people like what they connect to, what they can emotionally relate to. So I like to pretend he's this poor single guy living in the city, always looking for a girlfriend. He kind of is that way, but I think people really enjoy that. We make him very relatable from a human perspective, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Well, you wouldn't be single for long, buddy, not at all. Well, where can people find more information about Django or follow him?
So Django is on both Instagram and Facebook as Django the Gent, so D-J-A-N-G-O, the Gent, like gentleman. And he also has his own brand called djangobrand.com, where we sell just really high quality travel and adventure gear for small and medium-sized dogs.
You are a superstar, buddy. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much, and Django, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.